Welcome, friends and travelers. Reed Darkwill here with another video. And today we're going to be taking a look at another video from Salmonella Academy and its top 10 worst animal skeletons. This was suggested in the comments of the last Salmonella video that I did, the banned foods one. I was told that this would be a good next video when I got back to Sam, and it sounded pretty interesting to me. I haven't seen this one, so definitely down to take a look. It's the top 10 worst animal skeletons, which is an interesting concept because some of them do have like weird looking bone structures. Um, and like when you look at like some of the skulls, even like if you've seen like an elephant skull, just doesn't look like you would think it would look, and it's kind of interesting. So I'm curious to see what makes this list, and I definitely, I mean it's Sam, so it's going to be an entertaining video. Like everything I've seen from him has been very entertaining, so I'm assuming this will be as well. But just note that I have it muted. But yeah, let's get into it. Here we go.
By Skillshare. Hey kids, as we all know, the evolution of species is an incredible process, driven by little more than the random chance that certain mutations may happen to provide a practical advantage in a creature's environment. And as a result, there's a lot of things out there that look super dumb once you strip back a few layers. Here's the top 10 worst animal skeletons of all time. So first and foremost, I'd like to settle a little debate I've been seeing floating around the past few weeks. Yes, penguins do, in fact, have knees, but in order to hide full-grown legs into one
Was there really
cylinder,
a debate? Who was debating that penguins have knees or not?
I've been seeing floating around the past few weeks. Yes, penguins do, in fact, have knees, but in order
I've never
to
even
hide
thought about
full-grown legs
having
into
knees.
one plump cylinder, you gotta have a little skeletal trickery on your side. You guys ever do wall sits in gym class or elsewhere? One of the most torturous exercises out there. I now feel even worse for penguins, because not only did they have to deal with living in a frigid black and white hellscape, the most hostile environment known to man second only to the vacuum of space, all the while constantly pursued by ravenous, bloodthirsty sea dogs, but they're also secretly doing wall sits their entire life. Quick side note, in Mandarin, the word for penguin consists of the characters for business goose, which is fucking hilarious.
Business
like
goose.
one day a goose put on a suit and said, "Today it's time to make a name for myself."
They do look like they're working
as Parsons
suits.
Chameleon,
So I guess it
found in
kinda
the
makes
more
sense.
remote regions of Madagascar. Notice the fleshy protuberances around its nose area. Turns out, not fleshy, not even remotely fleshy, not even one flesh. Instead, it just has a skull forever frozen in time in the middle of exploding, like it sneezed right in the middle of God shaping it out of clay, and he was just like, whatever, it's a feature now. So for that, this rough-headed reptilian gets number 9. Normally I would have ranked it higher, but that's a dope tale, so he gets
that
the
is
50
pretty
points.
cool.
Next is the pufferfish. So for most of my life, I've pictured pufferfish as just not having any bones. I know it doesn't really make sense, but neither
all
does
fish
them
do.
turning into a balloon like a goddamn cartoon. Turns out, in their normal state, they actually look like this. And when they inflate, those concentric rings of spines slide outwards past one another.
They must have very
flexible
flexible,
like
flexible
the aperture
bones.
of a camera lens expanding.
I guess fish do
typically
typically have fairly flexible.
The sheer ingenuity of this
it.
design has shattered my childhood dream of real-life balloon animals, which has earned the pufferfish the number 8 spot on this list.
I think it's kind of cool.
Around to certain zoological circles, you've been shown this skull and been told, yes, that comes from the dwarf elephant. Oh, you've never seen one? That's because they're extinct. And that thing in the middle? Yes, nothing more than the nose hole to which the trunk connects. However, if you're a rational, free-thinking adult like me, you can look past the lies spoon-fed to you by Nat Geo and other liberal media outlets and see this for what it is. A cyclops.
Yes.
Next is the orca,
totally a
otherwise known as
cyclops.
the killer whale, the panda torpedo, or the SeaWorld slave. Its skeleton is fairly normal at first glance, but check out this little thing under here. That little bony blip is actually all that remains of the legs and pelvis of the orca from when it evolved from land mammals. Personally, I think that's highly disrespectful to their ancestors. Like, they could have taken the seal route and used those legs for good in the water, but instead these sea cowards said, no thanks, we're gonna undo all that evolution and just be bigger, smarter, warmer fish again. But hey, we'll keep this little piece of nothing just to remember you guys by. Truthfully, I could have chosen almost any cetacean to pick on for this, but the orca's face also reminds me of SCP-682, which is the most
I can see the
overrated
resemblance
shit out there, so he gets the number 6 spot. Moving on, now bear with me here. In every other mammal on Earth, the canine teeth point downward from the gum to the mouth.
Mm-hmm.
like a tooth. But this guy, known as the Babirusa, said, "Huh," and decided to have them
Oh.
grow up through the entirety of its fucking snoot and out the other end, which
What?
is the most nonsensical
Why?
thing I've ever seen. Like,
What
toenails out the front,
purpose
how
does that?
cliche. Let's make them go through the whole foot instead. Look, now I can kick good behind me. That's not all though. These tusks also keep growing for the creature's
That
entire
just
life,
seems
which isn't a
wrong.
problem in and of itself, right? Rodents, they keep chewing stuff to wear them down. Alligators, they just let them fall out now and then. But the Babirusa is like, I'll just nut in a lady pig long before this becomes an issue. So if it lives long enough, the teeth can curve right on around and slowly bore into the thing's face, like built-in Chinese bamboo torture. And occasionally, they can end up actually piercing the skull and shish kebabbing the brain. Now, some people might say that this doesn't belong on this list, given that teeth aren't technically bones. And to those people, kids, we say, eat shit and die. Next, we have the octopus. The
Fair
octopus
enough.
skeleton is so bad that it doesn't even exist.
Yeah.
Sure, they got this little thing in the middle, but that doesn't count. That's just chitin. And yeah, they can get in a jar or whatever, but at what cost? At the animal picnics, the crowd shouts, "Bleh, shun the spineless freak." And at the animal wheelbarrow
think they're
races,
kinda
with
cool.
nothing to grab hold of, the cephalopod holds a solitary vigil at the starting line. And lo, the octopus wins naught but a participant medal at the Grand Prix and the number 4 spot on this list.
I think you're
Moving
being a
on,
bit
here's
too
the
harsh.
skeleton of a fruit
Octopi
bat.
are cool.
Now, not a big deal to us regular folk, but imagine if humans had no context of bats and they dug this thing up. Like, class, archaeologists have recently found these fossilized remains, and using modern technology, we can see exactly what it would have looked like back when it was alive. This abominable creature is known only to scientists as Finger Boy, and is theorized
Finger
to have
Boy,
fed upon
I
fruit,
see.
insects, and the dreams of orphans, which it would siphon out from the ears of the errant little waifs whilst they slumbered. By the way, if you Google image bat skeleton, like, more than half of them have the ears built in, just like, I feel the extraordinarily bat-like wings and figure of our decoration are much too subtle for our consumers. Better slap these on. At number 2, we have the anteater. From its oboe-like skull to its gorilla fist and hands, one can only wonder who let this creature exist. Fun fact, if you take the anteater's skull and blow into its nose, it plays a beautiful song recounting the animal's entire life, and then security escorts you out of the museum. Looking at this, I can only pose the
fair
question
enough.
asked for generations long before my own. That being, why the long face? Before we get to
Wow.
the number 1 spot, here's a few honorable mentions. The wolf eel.
Yeah, that's
The ostrich.
okay.
This human-cat hybrid I found on a tabloid site.
National
And
Reporter.
of course, the mermaid. So at our number 1 spot, we have this creature. That's supposed to be a mirror. I know most of you can't see yourself in it on account of your filthy Dorito-smeared screens, so just take my word for it. So what's wrong with humans?
My
You ask,
apologies.
well, a lot of things, but for now, let's stick to the skeleton. First off,
What was
these bones right here.
that?
So what's wrong with humans? You ask, well, a lot of things.
I don't know which picture is the most disturbing.
But for now, let's stick to the skeleton. First off, these bones right here, these are known as the metatarsals. All part of the foot, right? No, that's a bunch of primate propaganda. In most other groups of land mammals, what we'd consider our ankles is actually the quote-unquote knee of the animal. Thanks a lot, walking upright. Also, it's estimated that around 80% of people will experience chronic back pain at some point in their life. Thanks a lot, walking upright. Lastly, probably something you've heard about at some point, our skull to pelvis ratio. For most animals, giving birth, not a big deal. Small heads, wide hips, Mazel tov. But check out the big brain on Brett. Throws a real monkey wrench in the works there. For a while it led to some problems till those extra brains figured out how to work around it, so I guess you win this round, humans. But that doesn't stop you from also winning the number 1 spot on the worst skeletons of all time. But hey, just cause you'll forever be flawed on the inside, doesn't mean you can't improve yourself on the outside. That's why you need to try Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with over 25,000 classes in design, business, technology,
One of his most
and more.
common
Premium membership gives you
sponsors.
unlimited access to high quality classes on must-know topics, so you can improve your skills, unlock new opportunities, and do the work you love. For all my life, I thought I knew how to make a grilled cheese. Then I saw this class, and I realized I didn't. Now I do again. Those
Very
few minutes
important
between
class.
seeing the thumbnail and finishing the course were a dark time in my life. But let's say you don't like grilled cheese.
How long
Well,
is the
you must be either
class
vegan or
on-
dead, and either way, you probably smell
on
terrible.
grilled cheese?
What better way to soak up that earthy must in your home than with a hand-selected houseplant known to improve air quality? You can even put googly eyes on it. Aw, it's like I have a friend. Join the more than 7 million people already learning on Skillshare today with a special offer just for my viewers. Everyone who visits the link in the description can get 2 months of unlimited access to the 25,000 plus classes on Skillshare for absolutely free. So please, put down that bone broth and start sipping some brain juice today. Anyway, that's all for today. Till next time, I'm Salmonella, and I'm still scared of swine flu.
Aren't we all? I mean, I don't think thinking about swine flu at the moment, but yeah, that was good. That was a good one. Definitely another enjoyable salmonella video. Uh, he did talk about the elephant thing. That was the one that I had seen before. It does look like a cyclops skull. Um, and maybe it is. But yeah, it was pretty entertaining. Um, definitely another good video. Um, let me know what other salmonella videos you want me to react to. I mean, I've seen a decent number of them, but definitely not all of them. So, I mean, there's no harm in just throwing it out there. And if I haven't seen it, it's one I will definitely consider giving a look. Um, but yeah, definitely had fun with this one, and I hope you enjoyed the reaction.